Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 3rd, 2021, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the Dow Jones finally gets a bounce after being beaten up over 1,500 points. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day. Biggest event of the day, 3:30 South African time out of the United States. It's non-farm payroll numbers coming out for the month of November. Now looking at 5 p.m. South African time, also out of the United States, ISM services PMI numbers coming out. Now looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the Aussie dollar on its lows, while the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both bounce. Looking at commodities, gold and oil pretty much unchanged. While we're looking at the stocks bounce with the market, but that doesn't mean that the market is strong. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin pretty much unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. With that said, we have to look at a weekly chart to see how much further we can go. Now, 70.23 is your next real support level, which is about 50 pips away. So that's really the next support level. And if that is breached, then we could go back down to the 67-ish level, which is 300 pips away. Now, trekking back to the euro, it's weak, but not really trading, okay? It's trading within a 50 to 20 pip range, which is really very, very tight. Look at the GBP/USD, also in a very tight range as well. So most of the market is really in a tight range. So we're going to skip over the commodities because really nothing doing. And we're going to go straight into the Dow Jones. Now the Dow Jones got this nice little perk yesterday, okay, from 34,000 to 34,600, which was a nice 600 point move. Now altogether though, it's still down over 1,500 points from our, even a little bit more, 1,800 points from our all-time highs. So, you know, ostensibly I would expect a 50% bounce here, okay, at some point, because this was really supported 34,000. I don't know that we'll get it. That's something we'll have to consider, okay, but as this makes this correctional move. Now looking at the NASDAQ, we're trading in this very tight range, 16,000, and not breaking lower, okay, so it's really showing some strength on a certain stance, but you know, it's just so fickle where you have these extreme moves to the downside. Now looking at the various stocks, starting out with Facebook, okay, it's a different story for each one. Facebook was very weak yesterday, okay, so that is one indication of, okay, this may still get weaker for at least Facebook, okay. Apple yesterday also didn't really bounce, but it did get this consolidation at this 62-ish level. JP Morgan did get a little bit of a bounce at 160. Looking at Amazon, okay, didn't get the bounce. So there are certain stocks that are stock selective that are weak. So it's not like the whole market is strong, okay. Tesla also got a little bit of a bounce yesterday, but again, 1,080, it moved maybe 20 points, okay, which is really very insignificant. So it's still relatively weak as we look at this, okay, as we look into the consolidation of the week. Now, a lot of focus is going to be on the NFP number today, so just be aware of it. I do expect some extreme moves, okay, but I think everybody is really absorbing the fact that the markets have been really, really slow, and it's been very, very difficult for the markets. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, not much doing here. 56,900-ish level. We were at 57,200-ish level yesterday, so really not much doing here where we're looking at Bitcoin really consolidating. So just be aware that today may be a turning point for the market where we may even trade lower. Okay, that still might happen if the markets do that. This is Fred Razak, and I wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.